for now, we are going to Manhattan Beach, California, and we're going to hang out with Robert Kuhlmann. Robert, are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing today?
Oh, it's been a good day. I'm just glad that I got to be here tonight and hear, gosh, Gems of Grace. And I don't know, it's gonna be hard for you to follow Gems of
Yeah,
Grace
I'm
and Cat, but
thinking
I
I
think
might.
you,
Yeah. That's some pretty strong messaging. I mean, there was some really strong words in that just kind of just really kind of got it. But and you're right that those messages need to be heard by whoever can,
especially young
especially
women. Oh my
yeah,
goodness, young
exactly.
girls who are growing into the age where they're gonna meet, just people that just don't love God and they're out for themselves. And oh, Lord, protect them. Just give them your grace and your wisdom to stay away from all that. But anyways, you are now Hope Chapel Del Rey in Westchester. So are you let's see, that's not by the airport? Is that by the
Yeah,
airport?
it's just north of the airport.
Oh, okay. Do you have to duck in between songs or
No, no, actually, it's far enough away from the runway. It's good. It's good. But
well, that's good.
it,
And how long have you been playing music?
I've been doing music for since I was in grade school. Played in bands starting in grade school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
Moved to LA in the mid '80s. I was in bands back in St. Louis. Moved. Our band moved out here, and so I lived the rock and roll world for many years. And then early 2000s, started getting into found a church and went to began a church, but I was also exposed to music because I grew up Lutheran. So it was all hymns and Martin Luther and stand up, sit down and organs and choirs and stuff. And I was a rock and roller. I was a punk rocker. I was everything, right? So it was like nothing really spoke to me. And then when I started getting exposed to you know the Chris Tomlins, the Stephen Curtis Chapmans, the Third Days, that really opened my heart to hear that message. And my faith is in the last 20 years. My faith has just grown, and so I'm just very blessed to be. I have been blessed to be able to be where I am today and growing even deeper.
Good for
So
you. Well, what do we get to hear from you first?
um, you know, first I was gonna do a song that's based on Matthew 5, but I'm gonna change my after Cat. Um, I just need to. I think I need to share this one. It's called The Cross and Some Nails, and it talks about you know the sacrifice that Jesus made on the cross, and that we actually have you know we got it for free, and all we have to do is say yes.
Robert Coleman on Red Screen.
Sacrifice you made for me. I'm forgiven, not forgotten. Price you paid for me. God's only begotten. The gift that you built with a cross and some nails. The gift that you built with a cross and some nails. I was lost just like that lamb, out in the dark and all alone. Your love shone brightly as a lamp, guided me home. With the light that you lit with the cross and some nails. With the light that you lit with the cross and some nails. Teach me to pray, show me the way, how to live my life. Sing the carpenter's praise, learn the carpenter's grace, and I've been saved by a cross and some nails. Blood that was shed for me, unforgiven, not forgotten. Your love set me free, God's only begotten. The gift that you did with a cross and some nails. The gift that you did with a cross and some nails. Teach me to pray, show me the way, how to live my life. Sing the carpenter's praise, learn the carpenter's grace, and I've been saved by a cross and some nails. 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 By a cross and some nails.
We were getting some good feedback on Facebook about you, and it is like it's so good hearing you. I actually commented. I said how you reminded me that like when we sat around the campfire and sang Christian songs together, like and it was Huntington. I was kind of more Orange County beaches,
Okay, all right. Oh,
but
that's okay.
I spent a couple times up in I think Hermosa had fire pits. I somehow ended up there because I was hanging out with some Rolling Hills Covenant people.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah,
But anyways, that was a good, and I love the hook, the crossing some nails. Come on, that was really, really good. Thank you for sharing that.
sure.
And now, now Red has now reminded me 3 times, and I finally remembered to say something. You, yes, you, Robert Kuhlmann, was on the first Red's Room. Red's Room. It's like a Marvel comic, #1. Like
Number
you're
one.
you're you're worth like millions of dollars.
I don't know
What
about
what do you
that.
have to say about all these years that Red's been doing this?
I just think it was an inspired piece of ministry that he put together. It happened at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, that was the whole point of this. I mean, we couldn't be in Angel City, we couldn't be anywhere, and so Red got in. The Spirit inspired Red to just let's go online, and it was. He's like, hey, and I think I was supposed to be playing at Angel City that weekend or the next or sometime soon. And he said, well, you want to do this online thing? And I'm like, I'm in, man. So yeah, it's just to see the growth that it's had, since, over the last couple of years. And,
Mm-hmm.
that he's doing live events now, and kind of Australia, worldwide, the Philippines. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff going on, so it's really just a blessing to be part of it. And I think I can't remember how many times I've actually performed in
Mhm.
Red's room, but it's a blessing to be part of this ministry. It really is.
No, I agree. And when I found out about Red and I started, getting involved, I fell in love with the idea. It's like, I'm an old guy with a croaky voice. I play ukulele, and somehow he lets me still come on from time to time. And I'm so thankful. And I'm glad you're still doing this. I think this is the first time I've heard you. I really enjoyed that. Now, I know I have the question, and our studio audience probably has the question. What is all that stuff behind you?
Those are all memories of 60 some odd years of rock and roll behind me. It's records, albums, cassettes, CDs, stage passes. I mean, it's a couple Stratocasters, So I mean, there's all kinds of stuff back there. But that's yeah, yeah. That's
That is your little homage to
yeah.
your rock life. I was going to say rock star, but rock
Not
life.
quite, yeah.
Jesus is the rock
Yeah,
star.
well, that's very true. Yeah, it's very true.
So, Robert, what would you like to share with us next?
So this next song is a song, and I've done this here before, but I always love to sort of introduce it because it's a song that was written out of some challenges. I got baptized in 2019 at Hope Chapel Hermosa, and promptly fell when I was leaving down the steps and broke my foot, and I was laid up for several months. And you think that God is like, the devil's coming after you because now you're one of his and things like that. And the time I was laid up, people were asking me what have you been doing, and I was working, and one of the folks that I was actually in a band with, Shelly, who is actually another Red's Room artist, um, she um, she asked me what has God given you during this time, you know, any songs, and I said, well, no, not really. And then it wasn't 48 hours later that that he gave me this one. So it's called Steadfast You Remain.
Robert Coleman on Red's Room.
Every time I tried to hide, every time I'd run away, every time I felt alone, steadfast you remain. Even when I didn't see your face, I couldn't call your name, you were always faithful to me every single day. When I was faithless and in chains, steadfast you remain. When I was a slave to sin, when I wanted my own way, when all I wanted was the world, steadfast you remain. Since the moment that I felt your grace, since I heard you call my name, you've been always faithful to me every single day. As every single change, steadfast you remain. And on the cross, you paid for my salvation. God's word is never changed. While we are faithless, you are always faithful. steadfast you remain. Steadfast you remain. Every time I tried to hide, every time I'd run away, every time I felt alone, steadfast you remain. Steadfast you remain. Steadfast you remain.
That is a modern day hymn. That was gorgeous. Your imagery, oh, wow, how inspired was that? Thank you for sharing that. Wow, thank you so much, Robert. Oh, you got another one. I'm sort of floored. I don't have anything to say right now. The only thing I do want to ask is there do you have, is that on Facebook or on YouTube or anything?
No, I have not recorded any of these.
Oh wow.
I've been attempting to get in the studio to do them, but life kind of has kept on getting in the way, and
Mm-hmm.
I've had fits and starts. I've been trying to record crossing something else with some friends for over 10 years, and we just never get it done. But I definitely want to do it because I think I want to not only be able to share when people ask, but also because I think they're songs that can touch somebody, right? So
that was a blessing. Thank you so much. What would you like to share next?
so this one is it's just about God is with us even when we don't know it, right? A friend of mine once said something about, we don't know what the future holds, but when we connect the dots and look back, we can see where God moved. And this is sort of a song that sort of takes the concept of, we don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we don't know from time to time. Sometimes we don't realize that he's there when he really is. And so this is called He'll Be There.
That's
When a tear falls slowly as a whispered prayer, he'll be there, he'll be there. When the wind blows cold in the winter air, he'll be there, he'll be there. When the spotlight shines on your brightest hour, or when that curtain falls too soon, whether you're happy or sad, in the good times or bad, he'll be there, he'll be there, he'll be there, he'll be there. When the crying child needs a healing hand, he'll be there, he'll be there. When the fallen need a little help to stand, he'll be there, he'll be there. When the darkness falls, he'll provide the light. And when that spirit calls out to you, as your answer, just take a look at your side. He'll be there, he'll be there, he'll be there, he'll be there. He'll be there when you need to be stronger. He'll be there when the days feel longer and longer. There when you need him, just might not see him. He'll be there. 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 Oh, he'll be there. He'll be there. When the darkness falls to provide the light, and when spirit calls to you, when you answer, just take a look at your side. He'll be there. He'll be there. He'll be there. He'll be there. When a tear falls, he'll be there. He'll be there. When there's a crying child, he'll be there. He'll be there. When you're lost in the darkness, he'll be there. He'll be there. He'll bring you life. He'll be there. He'll be there. Oh Lord, he'll be there. He'll be there. He'll be there. He'll be there.
If I didn't think that John Mellencamp was on this show, I would say that he just sang that. Oh, that is such good, just from the heart rock. Thank you so much for sharing that, Robert. Oh, that is so good. I tell me when that song means a lot to you. Have there been moments in your life when that song really spoke to you?
Yeah, actually. I mean, there's been times when, and again, it's looking back, right? Because there were times when I had a spiritual experience when I was in high school, and I couldn't tell anybody about it because I didn't have anybody to tell about it because I wasn't, it was just too weird, right?
Mhm.
And so I went through a lot of times going, okay, well, I know God exists. I know God is real. I know, but it just, it wasn't, I wasn't obvious about it, right? I didn't follow through. And as I've looked back, on my, life, I realize where God came in and helped, and God had guided me into certain things or kept me away from certain things.
Yes.
Living the rock and roll world, man, there's all kinds of stuff that you can get, and I'm still alive. So, I look at that and kind of go, okay, thank you. So I give as much now as I can because and to be able to sit and say, hey, you know, I mean, the cat spoke to me about a lot of stuff, right? I mean, you have a lot of things in your past and you just kind of, am I good enough, right? Are you ever, can you ever forget that stuff? And God has. So, you know.
That is so good. Thank you for sharing, Robbie. Robbie, tell us what's next for you. Are you going to get the band back together, or what's happening?
I don't think about getting the band back together, but I do want to get in the studio. The folks that I'm working, I am, I've been the worship leader at Hope Chapel now, at Hope Chapel Del Rey now since this summer,
Mhm.
and there's some really good, strong musicians that I'm working with there, and we're, hopefully gonna, I keep wanting to kind of talk them into, let's go and do some stuff, and so that's sort of next on my trajectory, probably after the Christmas rush is done. So
Oh yes, it's that time of year. But do you know that Larry Norman song, Santa Claus is coming and the kids are getting greedy? One of my favorites is like, yep, here it comes.
there it comes. Yep.
Anyways, how can people find you in the social media verse world, meta, whatever?
I'm on Facebook, RTK Music. My website is rtkmusic.com. I'm on Linktree/RTK Music. So everything is RTK Music. So,
RTK.
yeah.
We got it. RTK Music, Robert, thank you for sure.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, it's a couple of old guys with, goats and gray hair. And I'm telling you, you just warm my heart. I love that music so much. I can't wait to find more of your, maybe I'll just have to drop into Del Rey one of these days.
Please do.
I'm
Come on
coming
out.
out I'm coming out next week to Long Beach. So yeah, it's not too far up the coast.
No, no, it's right up the street.
Be worth the drive. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Robert. Oops, I lost your thing here. There we go. Robert Kuhlmann from Manhattan Beach, California. Thank you for sharing with us tonight
Thanks,
on
TJ.
Red's Room
Appreciate it.
number 201. I'm glad you're here. That's fun.
Thanks.